Good evening. Welcome to the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show with Coach Mike. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I urge you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, I invite you to reach out to me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this Monday night, just like it is every Monday night in the 7 o'clock hour. And I thank everyone in the audience for tuning in. I want to introduce my co-host without any further ado. Not only is he a highly successful real estate broker, but he is also the co-founder of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. I love him so much for sitting in with us every week at this time and do this call-in show. We both also would invite everyone in our audience to get involved in tonight's show. Please record yourself asking a relevant real estate question. Record yourself and you can submit your questions to the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In line. You see the number here on our screen, and our staff will be reviewing the questions, and you never know. You very well may have your question answered on tonight's show. But without any further ado, I want to introduce our co-host, Mr. Michael G. Davis. How you doing, Coach Mike?
Woo! What's up, Rick? Prime Real Estate Rick. What's happening, man? Excited to be here as always, brother.
Absolutely, man. It's great to do this show with you, man. I was telling the audience before I introduced you, I just love doing this show with you on Mondays because we get such positive feedback. We get such great interaction from everyone online. So I thank you so much for sitting in with us on Mondays.
Absolutely, man. It's a great way to start the week.
Hey, man, speaking about starting the week, man, share with our audience a little bit of what's been going on this weekend in the world of Coach Mike and everybody at Brooks and Davis.
Man, you know, we just been getting out there, starting the year fast. We did our first career night, went IG live on them last week, Rick, last Thursday. So we're definitely going to continue that trend at least once a month. We're going to still do our in-person career night where people can come and learn more about what Brooks and Davis has to offer. But even more, they're able to tap into, I've self-labeled myself, Rick, the industry's broker.
Oh, wow.
Yes. If your broker won't answer the phone, he won't answer your questions, he's not accessible, come ask me. Call me. I take care of it for you. So with our career night, they're still able to do that. And then we're also we'll be live. We're live on Instagram during the career night now. So
that's great.
It's on there. They're able to ask questions, you know. So we had our very first one this last Thursday, man, and it was super crazy. So I'm super excited about that moving forward. And then we wrapped up our business planning training. So we did 2 sessions of business planning, great information, great tools, which were given to the agents on last week. So, I mean, we're serious, man. We got a lot of events, a lot of things always constantly going because we know that development, that support is important.
And now, the fact that you have now become the industry's broker, I want to commend you for doing that because I know educating and mentoring is a platform for not only your professional brand, but your real estate brokerage. How much of the decision to become the industry broker had to do with the positive feedback that you've been getting from doing this particular call-in show? Because I've had so many new agents and tenured agents express gratitude that you've invested time in getting these questions answered, because you'll be surprised how many people have the same questions every week just about.
No, I mean, yeah, a lot of it is a credit to what we're doing here, you know, making ourselves available, being able to answer people's questions. I mean, it needs more. There's more of that that's needed in our industry. And, you know, I enjoy it so much. You know, why not just open it all the way up? So because we know it's such a humongous void in our industry, just real new agents having access to just answer simple questions, a lot of like the ones that we answer here on Mondays. Many realtors they're not able to access their brokers and get those questions answered for them. So, you know, we're here as a service.
I mean, it's great that you're doing this, man, because we're fortunate to be in the market here in Houston, in the state of Texas, where the real estate market is still so busy and active, and there's so much change and new homes going on the market and homes getting sold that we haven't really experienced certain slowdowns like they may have experienced in different parts of the country, which makes the fact that you're able to answer these questions so important, because we're answering questions for professionals that are dealing with clients right now. These questions that they're having is because they are dealing with these issues in the field on a regular and daily basis. So, when we have a chance to look at some of the questions, I really get excited because I'm curious to hear some of your answers to these questions we have on tap. So if you're ready, Coach Mike, man, I want to get to our first question.
Always ready, man. Let's go.
Let's get it going. Question number one.
Hi, Coach Mike. This is Shantae from Tomball, and I have a question to ask. How does it work when the seller is offering less than the asking commission?
Oh man, you know what, Rick? It's unfortunate, but it's out there, right? You have sellers out there that we can't say standard, right? Antitrust laws, we can't say any of that stuff, but it's common that you get 6%, right? It's common in our market. So, it's not one of those situations where the seller is offering less because, it's whatever that listing agent negotiates, right? So, but again, it's common 6%. Now, in the event that you are getting paid less, say you're representing a buyer and you are getting less than, the common, what's typical, 3%. You got a couple of options, right? One of them is you could just take it, right? If you're getting 2%, you see across the board, across the MLS, it's 3%, but you're getting 2%. You just take that 2% and you help your client. Another option is that cost can, if what your fee is 3%, regardless of if the seller is paying all of that entire 3% or not, you still have the option or the opportunity to have your client cover the difference, right? So that's also an option, Rick. I don't want people to feel like you just have to take what you're being given from the listing agent. That is not the case. If you're offering the level of service that you need to be offering to your client, then them having to pay 0.5% or 1%, that's not a big deal, because you're helping them with the biggest financial decision that they're probably ever going to make. So that's why it's key that you provide that level of service that justifies, in the event that client has to come out of pocket, they're excited, they're happy to do it because they know of the service that you're bringing to the table. So, those are your options. What you can't do, what you better not do, which goes 100% against the code of ethics, that we're held to as real estate professionals, is that you can't not show that property to your client. Right? You can't. Right. If the property fits the needs that the client has expressed to you, you're doing them a disservice not showing them that property, because at the end of the day, you're placing yourself above your interests above the interests of your client. And we can't do that because that goes against our fiduciary responsibility to our customer. So we can't do that, right? But what we can do is, hey, if this is the one that you're interested in, you're gonna have to pay something, because the seller is not paying, what's common as far as my rate with this particular property. So you're gonna have to cover the rest. So don't be shy to do it. Rick, I've had to do that in the past, and I've never had anybody get mad and leave and curse my name throughout the streets because God forbid he asked for me to pay some of the commission because he wasn't getting it. It's never happened. So that's how I respond to that, Rick.
One of the things that I would offer as some advice to anyone who is in this position is to make a list of all the itemized services that you provide as a real estate professional. A lot of times, especially at Brooks and Davis, one of the things that we offer is a step-by-step program to show agents how to go about assisting sellers, how to go about assisting buyers. And I would challenge just about anyone in the industry to have their next client accurately rattle off all of the services that go along with hiring a professional realtor. because chances are there's going to be some things that you bring to the table that they may not necessarily value or may not even consider. So one of the things that I always try to make sure I keep in the forefront of my presentation is actually spelling out for them all the services that I provide and how they benefit from those services. And I think that if we all as professionals go about doing that in a way that our clients can truly understand what it is that we do, I think you'll run into that issue as far as getting offered lesser of a commission. And you'll run into that a lot less often than you may have otherwise.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Rick. I unfortunately, our industry, you know, the marketplace feels that the value that we bring to the table as, you know, agents representing buyers, the value we bring to the table is showing you properties, right? Sending you properties. And if that's the value, you know, and as a real estate professional, if you accept that as all you're able to do is show properties or bring them properties to do property searches, then you aren't bringing any value. Like, you don't deserve, you know, what the market is paying. You don't deserve that, because they can go, a customer can go on HAR.com, Zillow, Redfin. They can go drive by a property and call the number on the sign. And more than likely, that listing agent will meet them at the property and let them in it. Right. So if all you're doing is bringing someone a list of properties, right? You know, you haven't done any research or anything as it relates to the neighborhood. You're not able to offer them any kind of insights, any kind of information that they can't get off of Google. You don't deserve it, right? So don't be fussing about it. Just take it. You know, if they offering you 1%, take that 1%. Right? I mean, because you don't deserve more than that. You know, so that's key. That's key, Rick. At the end of the day, you need to be a polished professional. You need to be at the top of your game, and you need to be offering an experience to your client that they cannot get from anywhere else, from anybody else, from anything else.
You know, I agree with you totally, Coach. It's amazing how prevalent these type of commission-based realtor incentives that buyers and sellers are asking for. It's funny. So it's really important that all those agents that are new or that are currently in real estate school and going to be practicing real estate in the next 90 days or less, man, heed your advice, add that information to their tool belt, and be prepared to present your value added in those situations, because eventually you will most likely run into that if you're doing enough presentations for buyers and or sellers.
Absolutely, man. Well, look, shout out to Margaret Ruffin. She's checking us out, man. She told us what's up. Margaret, drop a question in there for me. I know, you know, if you have one, we'd love to get your question answered.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Margaret. Man, Coach, got another question from you. This comes in from the chat line. And this is a very interesting question that I'm sure a lot of members of our audience have. And this question is there a free home buyer program that qualifies for the City of Houston grant program?
Oh, free
interesting
home buyer program that qualifies for the City of Houston grant. Now, you know what I think what they're asking, Rick, is a home buyer class, right?
Right.
Because they're not really programs, right? They're classes. And because of these classes, you know, I'm sorry, because of the requirements of the down payment assistance program, they require a certificate, right? So they require these HUD certificates that, I guess it represents the fact that this person has gone through some level of education prior to purchasing the home, right? A lot of these grant programs were designed, they want to put more people in the houses, offer more access, but they also want to make sure that you can stay in the house. And they know, like you know, Rick, like I know, education is key. It's one thing to get through the process, go to closing, sign the paperwork, and then get in it and not be able to keep it because you don't know, you don't know how to maintain a home, things that that's not taught in college, is not taught in high school. You got to get access to this information. So we have these home buyer classes that some are certified by HUD, which is, the Housing and Urban Development, the Department of Housing and federal government entity. Some are certified by them and some are not. Well, the ones that are certified by HUD, they offer this certificate that you can now use to gain access to this down payment assistance and these different programs. So here's the thing, though. Most of the classes, because I really only know of one, most of the classes, Rick, you're going to have to pay for that class. It ain't no free ride, baby. You are going to have to pay for that thing. So so most organizations that offer it. Now, again, it's worth it, right? It's worth it to pay for it, because if you're able to access 15 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 150 grand, then it's worth paying that little $100 that you might have to pay to take that class. Well, through our membership with the Houston Black Real Estate Association, and we see your question, Margaret. We're gonna answer that. Through our relationship with the Houston Black Real Estate Association, we actually offer a free class that you don't have to pay for the class. You get it's the same 8-hour class. You get connected to the same housing counselors at no cost. And it's virtual, Rick. It's Zoom. You ain't even got to leave the house to take the class. Get the certificate, still be able to tap into all the down payment assistance programs. It's the same thing that people are paying money, $25, $55, $100. Same thing that people are paying for. The Houston Black Real Estate Association offers it to the marketplace at no cost. So that's a benefit. Number one, that's a benefit of joining the organization, right? That your clients are able to access this class, because the Houston Black Real Estate Association is all about democracy and housing and affordability. So this is our client base. These are the people that need it. So it's an honor every month for us to be able to offer that class at no cost for people. So to that caller's question, yes, there is a class that offers free home buyer class where you get that HUD certificate so you can be able to access the programs. All right, Rick, let's jump in. Looks like Margaret Ruffin gave us a question, man. Let's jump into it and see what it was.
Does the certificate of completion from HUD mean the approval process will be more extensive?
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. That's a good question. And Rick, we went ahead and dropped that link into the comments to the Houston Black Real Estate Association. So you guys go in there and y'all check that out. But does it make the approval process more extensive? What I would say to that, Rick, is it does add an extra layer, and it's not the HUD certificate approval completion. That's not what it is. It's the addition of the home buying. The down payment assistance program. Right? So because now you're adding another layer to the approval process, because first you have to get approved from the lender. So that person's going to approve you getting the money, right? They're going to approve you getting access to the down payment assistance. They're going to approve that. But then now you also have to, the lender is going to approve you getting access to the loan. That's what I meant. So the lender's going to get approval, give you access to the loan. Well, with the down payment assistance, now you have to go through their process to get the approval for whatever the down payment assistance amount is that they're going to give you. Right. So real quick illustration. I'm gonna use this for illustration purposes, because you and I both know in Houston you ain't getting no $100,000 house. It ain't happening. I think the average is well over 300,000. But if we had $100,000 house, well, if your down payment assistance requirement, say, was 10%, that's 10 grand. Well, that means the lender is going to lend you $90,000, right? If your requirement is 10% down, they pay the other 90%. I mean, they're gonna pay 90 grand, you're gonna pay 10,000. Well, you may not have that 10 grand. You don't have that 10K. So you first got to get approved that the lender is even gonna say, yeah, we good, we're gonna give you the 90. That's your first layer. Well, then the second layer is, if you're going to use down payment assistance, you connect with an organization, and that organization says, you know, we offer $10,000 grants, or, you know what I'm saying? But you got to go through our process. And after we vet you, then we're going to determine if we're going to let you get access to that 10,000 that you need.
Right.
Right. So you got to get approval for the 90. You got to get approval for the 10 before you can go in there and sign that document and finalize on the transaction. So that's kind of what makes it, you know, more extensive. Not necessarily you getting, you know, qualified for the certificate. It's more of you having to get approved for the down payment assistance, whichever one that you're going for.
That's outstanding, man. Coach, I appreciate you for being so extensive as far as your answer, because these down payment assistance programs, these first-time buyer programs, the programs that assist people as far as getting in their first home and relieving the stress of having to come up with a down payment amount, are programs that are always some of the programs that people are most interested in, that people do the most searches for online. But for whatever reason, the rules and the qualification standards always seem to get a little convoluted and confusing for most people. So to have someone like yourself to use as a resource is something that I hope everyone in our audience appreciates and takes advantage of. Because like you said before, yourself and the work you're doing with HBREA, this is what it's about. It's getting people in their homes.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, Rick. We're serious about it. And we know, we've been doing this long enough, Rick, to know what's keeping people out of houses. Like, we know what it is. So it's easy for us to put the parameters in place and to guide people in the right direction so they can get in a property. It's so many tools out there that are debunking a lot of the myths that people are believing, and which is making them not even try to go through the process, right? You know, you have companies out there like Divvy and Homeward that can assist with, if you have a property to sell, you being able to sell and manage that situation prior to you purchasing and moving up, right? They have those situations going on. We have companies like Home Partners, right? Where, you know, you're this close, you're right there, right? And now you have an opportunity to go through their program, their lease to own program that they have, to where you can now identify the property that you want to buy, lease it until you fix those minor things, and then move into it, right? So it's like these bridge situation scenarios. We got the community land trust now that's really battling our affordability situation in Houston, right? They're offering $150,000, $150 towards the purchase of a property. So now what that means is, you know, a year ago, if your pre-approval was for $180,000, hey, we ain't got nothing for you. You just ain't gonna be able to buy a house. Like, you got to make more money. You got to get a raise at your job. You got to, you know, you got to pay off your entire car. Right? It's just, you know, that with them, we ain't had no more options. Well, now with this community land trust, you get a loan approval for $180,000. Man, you can stack that thing with that $150. Now we in the game, Rick.
Now we can make something happen.
Now we in the game, because now we're at 330. We can do something with that. So those opportunities are there, Rick, and people just need people like ourselves that are willing to be resources for them, so we can get more people into buying a house. 2022 is no other time in history than today as it relates to the ease of being able to get into a home. The government, the city, the county, the state, they want you to buy a house. They want you to do it, right? So now you guys just need to connect with somebody that's willing to guide you through the process, like us, like Brooks and Davis agents, like Prime Real Estate Rick, like the people that really care about getting people in the house.
Hey, one of the questions that just came from the chat, Coach, was you were talking about the rent to own and all the different companies that come out that can assist people into getting homes. One of the questions that they have in the chat is, what company was that you mentioned? Because, Coach, sometimes people think that lease to own, rent to own is a myth, and that it doesn't really exist for most potential homeowners. So you were mentioning a couple of companies offhand, Coach Mike, and I don't know if we can share that links to those companies in the chat. But one of the great things, I know you mentioned Divvy Homes. What was one of the other companies that you had a chance to mention? Okay, right now it seems like we've lost Coach Mike, but I want everyone in the audience who was interested in the information about the companies that can assist those, the company with 150,000, that is the Community Land Trust. So one of the things that you can do if you follow the Brooks and Davis YouTube channel, you can go into our archive video section, and Coach Mike facilitated an entire meeting in regards to the Community Land Trust, where he gave all the information about that, how to get involved, who would qualify, and how to get, if you're a real estate professional, how to get your particular clients already set up and get their information and application submitted with that organization. As you can see, those that are in the chat, we've shared that link with you. That link is www.houstonclt.org. It is www.houstonclt.org. So everyone who's interested in that information, we've shared that link in the chat. I want to thank everyone who's tuned in our audience to check out Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show with Coach Mike. It is definitely our honor to get this done for you guys every Monday night. We have Coach Mike back in the building. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, man. The technology these days, man, sometimes it catches slip.
No, it's not a problem at all, Coach, because what we had a chance to do was to share the website for the Houston Community Land Trust in the chat.
Okay.
So anyone who wants to learn more about that organization, the Houston Community Land Trust, or any of those organizations that you've mentioned in tonight's show, we want to make sure we're providing that information to the audience as well.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, they're powerful organizations. I would highly encourage anybody, man, although you can reach out to them, give the office a call at Brooks and Davis, because a lot of times when people go searching on their own, they hear a lot of verbiage, words, it don't make sense, and then they get scared, right?
Yes.
And then when you get scared because you're confused, you don't know what any of this stuff means, you get confused, and then guess what? Now you don't want to buy. So we're trying to eliminate any barriers to it. Mm-hmm. So just come to us. Let us guide you. We're the professionals. We know what we're talking about, and we'll know which one of them makes sense, which one of them works. Because the last thing we want to do is for you to get, I call it getting choked out with choices. Mm-hmm. You got all this opportunity out here. You don't know which one is the right fit for you. It becomes overwhelming, and then it causes inaction. And that's what we don't want to have happen. So,
I mean, your words are always so motivational and inspirational. So I thank you for sharing with myself and the audience. Before we sign out for this week's episode of Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show, Coach Mike, is there any information about any upcoming events, what's going on in the world of Coach Mike or Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm that you'd like to share with our audience before we sign off?
Man, Rick, like I said earlier, today is the start of a very, very, very active week. We have 10 events this week, Rick. 10 events. And I'm not going to do anybody the disservice of going through all 10 of them right now. Mm-hmm. But what I will definitely tell you is make sure you go to our Facebook business page, and you will be able to see all of the events, all of the flyers, and everything that we have coming up. We have a lot going on today. I'll just pinpoint a couple of them. We are doing our Realtor Life podcast on tomorrow, We have we have realtor and real estate investor, Mr. Andre Barad with Yes to Real Estate. So he's going to be on tomorrow at 12:30. We're going to go live. Mr. Coach Mike himself is actually going to be taking part in the Young Realtors division of NAREB's monthly Zoom meeting. So this is a national meeting across the entire United States. I'm going to be presenting myself and one of Brooks and Davis's family members, Miss Sydney Ely. We're going to be on there. She's going to be talking about giving and success, and I'm going to be talking about, you know, the mind-body connection and how it affects, you know, your outcome and your achievement. So that's going to be tomorrow at 5:00. Again, that's going to be on Zoom. So, you know, check Coach Mike out. On Wednesday, we have an event, a stress management event. Our very own Ms. Lala Vaughn is going to be talking about, and unfortunately, this one is not, it is not a simulcast event. So you have to be in person to come to it. So that's on this Thursday. Stress management training, you know, learn the best strategies to manage and eliminate stress. So that's on Thursday. Because you know, Rick, it can get really difficult to try to hit your success points, your points of accomplishment and achievement when you got a lot of pressure and things going on the brain, right? And it affects the body. So you have to learn how to manage that. You have to learn how to relax, right? So we have that going on Thursday. I just hopped all over Wednesday to make y'all think that we ain't got nothing going on Wednesday, but we definitely have. You know, Rick, I'm going to be talking about fear on Wednesday, Rick.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to be talking about how to conquer your fear. We're going to do a training around that. We're going to be talking about how to understand fear and embrace it. You know, a lot of us don't realize where fear comes from. See, we think fear comes from a bad place. It doesn't, right? Fear is there for protection. We just ain't, what's then happened is that our subconscious ain't realized we don't necessarily need to be protected from that stuff no more.
Right.
That was gone. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to rewire your brain to see things differently. And we're going to also talk about how to think long term. So all of that's going to be happening. That one is simulcast. It's going to be on this Wednesday. Look, stop letting fear stop you from getting stuff. Period. One thing to be afraid. I'm not saying people walking around here and they ain't scared of nothing. Yeah, I get scared. Everybody gets scared. Right. Don't let it freeze you up. Like don't let it put you in bondage. So that's what we're gonna be talking about on fear. And then Saturday we got a vision board, man. We got a vision board event going on, hosted by our very own Miss Erica May and Tempest LaFontaine. Vision board experience, an opportunity to be creative and have fun. An opportunity to figure out your goals, to remind yourself of where you want to go, where you want to be, get over your limitations like fear,
right?
As well as an opportunity to reassess. We're doing that, but also I'm going to be speaking at a youth mental health symposium, Rick, this Saturday. A youth mental health symposium is going to be at the church at Bethel's Family. I feel like it's important, very important. Youth mental health. I mean, because you got drugs, you got social injustice, you have technology, we have education, and a weakened family structure. All of it's diminishing the social and emotional and behavioral learning of our youth all across the world. So I'm going to be sitting on a panel and I'm going to be doing a breakout session. They pulled me in, Rick, because it's funny, man. I'm the PTO president of my kids' elementary school.
Right.
And I mean, I've been that for, I honestly, probably about 10 years I've been, you know, involved in the PTO at my kids' school. And I got into it for the real estate piece. I'm like, you know, they say, hey, man, go be the PTO. You can sell houses. And I was able to do all of that with the school. But what it really helped, now people, because of my experience with that, they see me as like an expert when it comes to parent engagement, parent involvement, parent organizing. And getting involved with the students. So they actually reached out to me and wanted me to speak. And I'm honored to be able to do it. So like I said, that wasn't even all of them. right? We got more. So make sure
Right.
you go to the Facebook business page. Like I said, we got 10 events that's happening this week. Opportunities for you guys to take part. Make sure you visit the link to be able to reserve your seat. So that's it, Rick.
Oh, no, man. I want to make sure before we sign off, I give a hearty thank you to everyone who had a chance to come out and visit us at the Prime Real Estate Network meet and greet in Dallas. I want to thank everyone that came out. It was a great time, great networking, great opportunity to meet like-minded professionals, entrepreneurs, and business people that want to create wealth for generations. So I want to thank everyone who came out. For those who weren't able to come out, I invite you all to check out the Prime Real Estate Network podcast live every Thursday at 12 noon Central Time on Instagram and the Prime Real Estate Network Facebook page. If you can't check us out live, new episodes debut every Sunday at 6 p.m. on the Prime Real Estate Network YouTube channel. So I invite everyone to check that out, man. I thank you all so much for the support, for liking, subscribing, and sharing not only that podcast, but also the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show with Coach Mike, man. Coach Mike, man, if you don't have anything else to tell the audience on our way out, brother, we can sign off for this week. Any final words?
Hey, you know what, man? We got a new website, Rick. We got a new website. So if you are in the process of getting your real estate license, or maybe you're with a brokerage firm and you're thinking of making a change, I encourage you, visit our website.
Please.
Right? Go to there, you'll see a button on the homepage and it says looking to join a brokerage. Click on that button, right? And you will be able to see all of how we train, how we support, through whether it's through our one-on-one coaching, through the mentorship, through our unlicensed affiliate membership. You'll be able to see all of that, right? Go to the Brooks and Davis website, click on that button that says looking to join a brokerage and learn more about us. We have testimonies on there. We have the paperwork, the forms that our agents sign. You'll be able to see all of that. You got a message from Coach Mike. So go to the website, go to that page and learn more. And hopefully you'll see the value and you'll want to schedule a in-person or online company introduction with me so you can learn even more about what we bring to the table as a real estate brokerage firm in this city and in this state.
Outstanding work, Coach Mike. I invite everyone to heed your invitation. Check us out and join the family, man. It's great, just like it is every Monday night. So I want to thank you so much again, Coach, for your time. On behalf of myself, Rick Davis, and Mr. Michael G. Davis, Coach Michael Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, I invite everyone, if you need anything in the meantime, in between time, we're just a call, text, inbox, or DM away. Until Monday night in the 7 o'clock hour, everyone out there, be safe and be blessed.